Joseph's story is one of the most captivating tales in the Bible, filled with twists and turns that keep readers and listeners alike on the edge of their seats. Joseph was a young man, just 17 years old, when his life took a dramatic turn, a turn that would lead him on a journey he could never have imagined. He was the favorite son of his father, Jacob, a fact that was well known and often discussed among his family members. Jacob's love for Joseph was evident. He even gifted him a beautiful coat of many colors, a garment that symbolized his special status within the family. This blatant favoritism sparked intense jealousy among his brothers, who felt overshadowed and undervalued. They resented Joseph's dreams that seemed to place him above them, dreams that hinted at a future where he would rule over them. Consumed by envy and anger, they plotted to get rid of him, selling Joseph into slavery, a decision that would haunt them for years to come. Little did they know they were setting in motion a chain of events ordained by God, events that would ultimately lead to Joseph's rise to power and the salvation of many. Joseph, stripped of his favored status, was taken to Egypt. In Egypt, he was sold to Potiphar, a high-ranking official in Pharaoh's court. Despite the injustice, Joseph did not despair. He carried himself with dignity and worked diligently. Potiphar recognized Joseph's worth and was impressed by his character. As a result, Joseph was quickly promoted, entrusted with more responsibility. Joseph's life as a slave took an unexpected turn, managing Potiphar's entire estate. Joseph thrived in his new role, managing Potiphar's affairs with wisdom and efficiency. Potiphar had complete trust in him, leaving every aspect of his household in Joseph's capable hands. However, Joseph's life was about to be thrown into turmoil once again. This peace and success was soon to be shattered by a test of his character. This test would reveal the true strength of Joseph's character and set the stage for God's divine plan. Joseph, despite his circumstances, carried himself with grace and dignity. The master's wife began to cast her eyes upon Joseph, her heart filled with lustful desire. Day after day, she would try to entice him, whispering seductive words. But Joseph, a man of principle, refused to betray Potiphar's trust. Her advances became bolder, offering him power, position, and pleasure. But Joseph stood firm, his faith in God a shield against her temptations. Joseph's life in Potiphar's house became a delicate dance of avoidance. He carried out his duties diligently, always keeping a safe distance from Potiphar's wife. One day, finding him alone, she made her boldest move yet, grabbing his cloak. "Stay with me," she pleaded, her voice a mixture of honey and threat. Joseph, caught off guard, wrenched himself free, leaving his cloak in her clutches. He fled from the house, his heart pounding, knowing the weight of her accusation. Potiphar's wife, consumed by rage and shame, concocted a story to protect her reputation. She cried out, summoning the household staff, accusing Joseph of attempted rape. Potiphar, returning home, was met with his wife's tearful accusations and Joseph's cloak. Blinded by fury, he refused to listen to Joseph's pleas of innocence. Joseph, falsely accused, was thrown into prison. The iron bars clanged shut, a chilling reminder of the injustice he now faced. The darkness of the Egyptian prison closed in around Joseph. He had gone from a position of authority to a common criminal. The cold, damp walls seemed to mock his dreams and faith in God's plan. He had been betrayed, falsely accused, and forgotten. Days turned into nights, each one a torment as he grappled with the unfairness. He clung to the memory of his father, the love of his family, and his faith in God. Even in prison, Joseph's character shone through. He refused to be defined by his circumstances, carrying himself with dignity. His fellow prisoners were drawn to him, sensing his strength and wisdom. The jailer, observing Joseph's conduct, saw in him a man of integrity. He entrusted Joseph with more responsibility, allowing him to move more freely. Joseph began to find purpose, a sense of meaning amidst the despair. Two new prisoners arrived, both high-ranking officials from Pharaoh's court. Joseph, sensing their distress, approached them with compassion. They shared their vivid dreams with Joseph, hoping for some kind of interpretation. Joseph listened intently, his heart stirring with a sense of purpose. Could this be the opportunity he had been praying for? A chance to use his God-given gifts, even within the confines of prison walls? The royal baker described his dream to Joseph. "In my dream, I saw myself carrying 3 baskets of white bread upon my head, and in the top basket were all sorts of baked goods for Pharaoh, but birds were eating them." Joseph sensed the baker's fear, the uncertainty that clouded his features. Dreams held a powerful sway in Egyptian culture, seen as messages from the gods. The royal cupbearer, eager to share his own dream, leaned forward. "In my dream," the cupbearer began, "I saw a vine before me with 3 branches. As soon as it budded, its blossoms opened and its clusters ripened into grapes. Pharaoh's cup was in my hand, and I took the grapes, pressed them into Pharaoh's cup, and gave the cup to Pharaoh." Joseph sat back, contemplating the dreams, his heart heavy with their premonitions. God had granted him a gift, a way to see beyond the present, to glimpse the threads of destiny. Joseph, guided by divine inspiration, turned to the baker. "The 3 baskets are 3 days, he explained. "In 3 days, Pharaoh will lift off your head and impale your body on a pole." The baker recoiled, his face ashen. Joseph then turned to the cupbearer, a flicker of hope softening his features. "Within 3 days, Pharaoh will lift up your head and restore you to your position. You will put Pharaoh's cup in his hand, just as you used to do." The cupbearer, his face awash in relief, readily agreed. Joseph, his heart heavy with the weight of prophecy, looked at the cupbearer. "When all goes well with you, remember me in your kindness. Speak for me to Pharaoh and get me out of this prison." The cupbearer promised to repay Joseph's kindness. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months, and yet there was no word from the palace. Joseph, his hopes slowly fading, found solace in prayer. Had the cupbearer forgotten about him? Forgotten the promise made in their shared despair? Meanwhile, in the opulent palace, Pharaoh was troubled by a series of vivid dreams. He summoned his advisors, demanding an interpretation, but their efforts proved futile. They offered vague interpretations, yet none could decipher the true meaning. Frustration gnawed at Pharaoh's composure. The cupbearer, witnessing Pharaoh's agitation, remembered the young Hebrew prisoner, the interpreter of dreams. The cupbearer stepped forward, his voice trembling slightly. He knew the weight of his words could change the course of many lives, including his own. "My lord, I recall that while I was in prison, there was a young Hebrew who could interpret dreams. His name was Joseph, and his gift was extraordinary." Pharaoh, his interest piqued, gestured for the cupbearer to continue. The court fell silent, every ear straining to catch the cupbearer's next words. "This young man interpreted my dream and the dream of the baker, and his interpretations came true. Everything happened just as he had said, down to the smallest detail." Pharaoh, desperate for answers to his own troubling dreams, ordered Joseph to be brought from the dungeon immediately. The urgency in his command was palpable. Joseph, his heart skipping a beat at the unexpected summons, could only wonder at the reason for this sudden turn of events. He had been in the dungeon for so long, hope had almost faded. Was this the answer to his prayers, the moment of his deliverance? As he walked towards the unknown, a glimmer of hope began to shine in his eyes, a hope that perhaps his time had finally come. Joseph's journey from the favored son to the unjustly accused prisoner to the revered leader, is a testament to the power of faith and integrity. Even in the darkest moments, Joseph clung to his faith in God. He refused to compromise his values, choosing to walk the path of righteousness. His story serves as a powerful reminder that God sees our struggles and hears our prayers. Joseph's unwavering faith gave him the strength to resist temptation and endure hardship. His life illustrates the importance of remaining true to our convictions. His unwavering integrity serves as a shining example for us all. Joseph's life was marked by dreams and visions that part of it. It was in the depths of this dark and it was through his experiences in prison to fulfill his destiny. The solitude allowed his divine plan. The story of Joseph's life is a powerful reminder that our struggles are not in vain. They are part of a divine working all things together for our good and his glory. As we navigate the complexities of life, may we, like Joseph, hold fast to our faith, knowing that please give us a thumbs up and share. Your support to our channel. By subscribing, you'll